Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're excited for today's video. So this is from Prison City. This is Citra Oasis, 8% ABV. It's a hazy double IPA. They're out of Auburn, New York. I'm going to talk a little bit for a sec, so if you just want to review, I would skip ahead. As always, when I do a Prison City beer, rest in peace, Rick. The last fun thing he and I did together before he passed was we went to Prison City on a guy's trip with our friend Jeff as well. We had worked together, so we had seen each other for about a month and a half before he passed, but we had never just gone out again yet. So last thing we ever did, the glass was courtesy of his widow. I reached out and said, hey, he bought this glass when we were together, and she's like, listen, I have no need for this glass. You can totally have it. So anyway, rest in peace, Rick. So love Prison City. I've gone there many times because they're close to my dad's cottage, and now they're actually on my way to his cottage, which is cool from where I live now. But yeah, so we went. My friends Jim, Matt, and I went there recently, and Jim had a flight, and then I think he did a fifth small pour, and it was this one. He's like, you have to try this. This is the best beer I've had here so far. And I agreed. So we bought a 4-pack. And this is the one I brought home to review. Anyway, all right, that's all the talking. Let's get into the review. So probably had more ahead before I started talking, but bone white, it was, I think, relatively compact. A little bit of legs, a little bit of lacing. That's more my fault. Yellow, orange mix. Definitely hazy. Let's get into the aroma. I'm kind of surprised because usually citrus, with Citra, I get the orange citrus first, then some peach and mango. It's usually in that order. This I'm getting much more peach and mango, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of orange in there. So I'm definitely getting, for me, the holy trinity, the trifecta of things I get out of Citra. Little herbaceously dank. Going back to that word citrus, kiss a lemon. It smells fantastic. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. It's so good. Wow, that's good. Great mouthfeel. The bitterness hits much closer to the initial sip than a lot of other beers in this style. But it does have plenty of that. Glad I mentioned the lemon in the aroma. Not to talk too much about the aroma, but that orange being the third thing. In the taste, I get it much more prominent. Definitely some lemon in there as well. Because of that bitterness, which I'm here for, just so we're crystal clear about this, that bitterness makes the peach, a little bit of apricot, and mango less juicy, less overripe. It's those flavors, but not particularly ripe. So they're still there, so it still has that fruit element. It's not the juiciest beer I've ever had, but it's still very fruity, because those are, those hit different. The aftertaste lingers pretty good. There's still a little bit of orange and lemon zest, pithiness. Everything else has washed away at this point. So pretty long finish, and it's very refreshing that way. This is one of those beers I would say is thirst quenching and thirst inducing, which is always nice. A little bit of pineapple even. Wow. I mean, they're calling it Citra Oasis. Maybe it does have some other hops. I just kind of assumed it was all Citra. Juicy, hazy double IPA is the only thing they say. And again, for me, it's more fruity than juicy. Trying to, do my due diligence of explaining this as fully as I can. And but again, I think it's because of the nice, in my opinion, appropriate level of bitterness is keeping it from being quote unquote juicy. Man, but this is great. I love this beer. Yeah, this is so good. They make so many good beers, different styles. I mean, they definitely crush hazies, don't get me wrong. But they do a lot of other styles very well. Some of the quote-unquote more traditional, I've had some really nice stouts. A couple, at least I know for sure one time. I think a couple times barrel aged stouts. But anyway, yeah, big fan of Prison City. Proper glassware, as I talked about earlier. I forgot to call out the proper glassware. I think that's everything, right? I'm starting to ramble, so that's how I know it's time to wrap this up. Have you guys ever had this beer before? Anything else from Prison City? You're drinking something else right now while you're watching it? Had something recently you want to tell me about? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untappd. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.